If I'm on a fat loss phase and I still want to drink alcohol, this is exactly what I do. Hi, my name is Nicole. I help founders, executives who close deals over a whiskey, a wine. They have celebrations with their friends, with their family, and they go to events. And so unless they choose to cut out alcohol completely, it doesn't really make sense. So instead of cutting it out, what we do is create rules around it so that they can still stay consistent and it's sustainable for them in the long run. So what I want to share with you in this video is rules which I live by, as well as my clients, in order to stay on track. So the first is having hard limits. So the first thing is this. So first is having 2 drinks max. This is something to aim for. If you have 6 drinks at the moment, then aiming for 4. If you have 4, then aim for 3. But it's all in relative position to where you are at the moment. Secondly is, 2 drinks max, 2 days. Secondly is 2 days, 2 days max. So choosing your days of the week that you want to have these drinks. And then thirdly is not having them back to back. So if you're going to have drinks on a Thursday, not a Friday, otherwise sleep can continue to go downhill, and you really just want to give your body a break instead of just hitting it hard with the alcohol. The second thing which I want to focus on is swaps. So instead of having sugary mixes, if you're going to have a gin and tonic, go for the low calorie option, because there's quite a few mixes out there which are now low calorie. The second thing is no sugar. So swapping out any cocktails for ideally then something else like a vodka soda or a gin and tonic, but just having a low cal. And then the third thing what I do is, instead of having a pint of beer, go for bottle, because this way you can just start sipping it slowly. And then most of the time when you go to these events, it's just about having something to hold. People don't really care whether you're drinking or not. But if you want to have that drink, then you can just hold that bottle and just sip that. Otherwise, if you have a pint glass and just hold an empty pint glass, then that can look a bit odd. And then the third thing is having rules. So in and around having a drink, for example, having 1 glass of water for every drink that you do have in between the drinks. This way you stay hydrated, so you don't wake up in the middle of the night and have that dry feeling in the throat, in the back of the mouth, on the tongue or so. Secondly is eat before. So this way, because the things with alcohol is, yes, it's extra calories. Also, the alcohol affects sleep quality. Then the sleep quality, that affects muscle recovery, and then what else is there? Affects sleep, affects you the next morning. So there's quite a few factors, but the other part of it is that the decisions get worse when you drink more. So you could lead to not just having that extra drink, but then the food which comes with it after, if you're hungry. So if you eat beforehand, then at least you're less likely to eat more like snacky food, things like that. And then the third thing, which is having a cutoff. So cut off, so 2 hours before sleep, because this way at least sleep isn't going to be as impacted. And then ideally, if you can drink earlier on in the evening or so, and just ideally having 4 or 5 hours before you go to sleep, that will help. So this is what I'd do. So just to recap, having hard limits. So max 2 drinks on occasion, going for 2 days max per week, and not back to back. Swapping out higher calorie mixes for low calorie, cutting out sugars, so no cocktails, going for like vodka soda or so. And then instead of pints, going for bottle. Even large wine glasses, instead of having 250, literally a third of a bottle of wine, going for 125 or so. And then having rules: glass of water of hydration for every drink that you have. Eating beforehand, so you don't overeat after, and then having a cutoff at least 2 hours before. Remember, you are the CEO of your body. No one else is responsible for you, what you drink, what you eat. Only you are. You are in charge.